We remain steadfast in our commitment in delivering local news that matters, stories that inspire, enriching the lives of Filipinos in the Philippines and across the globe.
This is your GMA Regional TV. Buong puso para sa Pilipino.
Ito ang Mornings with GMA Regional TV.
Masantos, yakabwasan.
Naibagabigat.
Mayap-abak mga kapuso.
Good morning, North Central Luzon.
Mga kapuso, galaw-galaw at salubungin natin ang umaga ng may ngiti at puno ng pag-asa.
Kami ang katropa nyo na magkakakwentuhan tuwing umaga. Pag-usapan natin at himayin ang mga mahahalagang lokal na balita.
Alright.
Fun Friday! Boom!
Yeah. Siyempre, we are in on a Friday morning, mga kapuso.
Wow, in. Fun Friday pa.
Fun Friday.
Tamang-tama nga yan, partner race, dahil ngayong araw, makabuluhan at napapanahon ang ating pag-uusapan ngayon.
Kaya, i-crack natin yan. Ngayon na.
Tutok na mga kapuso dahil ating makakapanayam maya-maya ang Center for Strategic and International Studies Senior Fellow and Director for Southeast Asia Program and Asia Maritime Transparency Initiative, mahaba nun na si Mr. Gregory Pauling upang alamin kung ano ang posibleng maging relasyon ng Pilipinas sa China sa ilalim ng administrasyon ni Pangulong Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr.
Kaabang-abang yan, partner. At syempre, usapang modern farming din tayo dahil ating makakakwentuhan mamaya ang isang hydroponic gardener mula Dagupan City na si Renier Estrada. Ano kaya ang meron sa ganitong uri ng pagtatanim na unti-unting nakikilala at nauuso? Sa
Biz Talk naman, magkakasama natin ang kapuso singer na si Salms David upang pag-usapan ang kanyang third single album under GMA Music entitled Kaulayaw.
Ganda ng mga
ano
pag-uusapan.
Ano ba ang nasa likod ng kantang ito?
This morning, ano? Pero syempre, partner.
Kaulayaw?
Yeah.
Ano yan?
We will serve pizza
today.
We will serve
gusto
pizza.
Gusto ko yan.
Anong favorite flavor mo?
Hawaiian pizza.
Ayun. Yung
may pinya.
May pinya, no?
Oo.
Sarap pag may pinya, no? At syempre ako
paborito mo 'yan. Pinya.
Ang gusto ko rin yung merong yung merong bell pepper. Maraming bell pepper na pizza. Pero gayon pa man basta pizza masarap.
Masarap? Oh.
Kaya let's go. Serve it na. Mga kapuso, anumang flavor ng pizza, tiyak na hindi natin aatrasan. Ngayong umaga, bibida ang seafood pizza ng 22-year-old cook na si Joshua Samson mula Lawag City, Ilocos Norte. Mangantila.
Good morning mga kapuso. Tuturuan ko po kayo kung paano gumawa ng seafood pizza.
Siyempre, boss lang. So, pagsama-samayin lang naman yan. Crab stick, yung tahong, yung hipon, at yung pusit.
Tingnan na po natin kung luto na ang ating seafood pizza. Halina't matakam sa ating seafood pizza.
Kasabayan ng pag-usad ng panahon ang pagbabago at pag-unlad ng sektor ng agrikultura sa bansa. Nakitang-kita sa moderno na mga pamamaraan at teknolohiya sa pagtatanim. Ano nga kaya ang kaibahan nito at benepisyo nito? Para dyan, makakapanayam natin ang isang hydroponic gardener all the way from Dagupan City. Mas nato sa kabuasan, Sir Renier, and welcome to Mornings with GMA Regional TV.
Yes, salamat po. It's an honor to be here.
Sir Rain, kumusta ang gising natin dyan?
Okay naman po. Ito, actually kakatapos ko lang po kasi kanina magtanim na naman ng mga seeds to be ready para sa mga next harvest natin. Okay.
Well, Sir Rain, for a modern farmer like you are, no? Ano ang morning routine mo insofar as taking care of your vegetables or crops are concerned?
Sa akin po kasi sa aking practice po kasi sa hydroponics growing, usually po pag morning talaga chine-check ko kung kamusta yung sunlight natin. Kasi which is yun na po ang pinaka-importante, lalo na mainly ang gino-grow ko kasi are leafy vegetables such as yung lettuce. Tsaka yan. And meron din ako mga herbs like basil, which are essential herbs. All of those crops needed sunlight. And yun ang aking first priority to ensure yung kanilang to ensure their growth.
Yes, Sir Rain. I'm sure that recently you also noticed, no, nag-gain ng popularity ang hydroponics. Para sa kaalaman ng ating mga kapuso, Sir Rain, ano nga ba itong hydroponics and paano ito nagwo-work?
Ayan. Okay, just to have short description sa hydroponics. Hydroponics po kasi, it gained popularity because it's a modern way of growing. Sabihin na natin, it's growing high-value crops. So ano ba itong mga high-value crops? These are the crops that you can sell for a premium price. Like for example, the most popular right now are the different kinds of lettuces. So nandiyan yung mga ginagamit kasi just to just to elaborate further, na naging popular ang Korean samgyeopsal sa atin. Not only in this province but everywhere sa Pilipinas. So upon gaining that popularity, sumabay din ang high demand for lettuces. So ito yung mainly kasi ginagamit sa samgyeopsal, di ba?
Tama.
So lumaki ang demand, so nagkaroon ng opportunity para mag-propel yung growth ng hydroponics.
Sir Rain, ano yung benepisyo o advantages ng ganitong pamamaraan ng pagtatanim? I'm referring to hydroponics.
There are a lot of advantages, pero magsabi lang ako ng a few. Okay, yung pinaka-importante. Number one kasi is yung sustainability. Madali nga siyang gawin. And as compared to the traditional farming, di ba usually if we have a land, that farming land, pag nag-harvest tayo, usually pinapahinga yung pinapahinga yung lupa. So, pag pinapahinga yung lupa, nagtatanim tayo ng ibang crops. So hindi diretso yung pagtatanim natin yung ating primary crop na gino-grow. And another bukod doon, syempre ito yung advantage na to, yung tinatawag na flexible siya. Pwede mo siyang gawin kahit saan, kahit sa balcony pwede mong gawin, large or bigger scale depende sa availability ng space mo. We can do it vertically. And number two, pwede rin natin siyang sabihin na advantage natin is mas mabilis tayo makapagpatubo and makapag-harvest. Imagine, germination stage of a lettuce is taking up like 10 to 15 days.
Okay.
And after 10 to 15 days, ita-transplant mo na siya or ita-transfer mo na siya sa nutrient solution. You'll just have to wait to 30 days. So that's a total of only 40 to 45 days. May harvest ka na lettuce. So fresh na siya. So I'm calling your attention na pwede natin ito gawing kabuhayan instead of doing things na hindi naman tayo kumikita, gumagastos pa tayo. Why not do something or make it a different a different approach, 'di ba? Gumawa tayo ng start as a hobby and we continue learning and doon, 'di ba? While we are learning, we are earning.
Ganda
So,
yan.
yun ang po.
So, learn
Yes,
while you earn. Yan ang pinaka
yes,
magandang key takeaway coming from Sir Rain this morning. Sir Rain, I learned so much from you this morning. And of course, I want to learn more as much as our kapuso would like to learn more from you. Thank you so much and God bless you.
Yes, sir. Opo, sabihan nyo lang kung gusto yung matuto, contact nyo lang po ako. I can teach you naman po.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
salamat po. Salamat. Thank you, thank you.
Diyan lang po kayo mga kapuso. Magkabalik ang Mornings with GMA Regional TV.
Ito ang Mornings with GMA Regional TV. Ito ang Mornings with GMA Regional TV.
Isa pa ring mainit na usapin hanggang ngayon mga kapuso ang agawan ng teritoryo sa West Philippine Sea sa pagitan ng Pilipinas at China. Mapalad tayo this morning dahil ating makakasama ang Center for Strategic and International Studies Senior Fellow at Director for Southeast Asia Program and Asia Maritime Transparency Initiative na si Mr. Gregory Pauling. Atin siyang tatanungin ngayong umaga kung paano ang magiging relasyon ng Pilipinas sa China sa loob ng 6 na taon sa ilalim ng administrasyon ni President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. Good morning, Greg, and welcome to Mornings with GMA Regional TV.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
We all know, Greg, that for almost a decade, the Department of Foreign Affairs have filed multiple diplomatic protests against China with regards to the territorial disputes. However, the Chinese government has been persistently and aggressively asserting its claims in the disputed islands. What do you think should the Philippine government do, aside from filing diplomatic protests, to uphold its sovereignty in the West Philippine Sea?
But what's clear on the U.S. and the Philippine government side is that we need to strengthen and modernize and evolve the U.S.-Philippine alliance. That's a key step to anything else that Manila might want to do in the West Philippine Sea, because only the alliance deters Chinese aggression. It is the best leverage that the Philippines can have in trying to deter Chinese aggression and move Beijing toward compromise. That can buy the space for a long-term diplomatic effort to bring Beijing around. And part of that effort has to include talking about the 2016 arbitration award again. Diplomatic notes are not enough. Eventually, there needs to be public pressure placed in the UN and elsewhere to get China to comply with that award.
Now, Greg, the Philippines has just elected its new president. Of course, we have the former senator, Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. What do you think would the Philippine-China relationship become in the next 6 years under Marcos Jr. administration?
I don't know. President Marcos has a difficult balancing act now. He has said that he will not cede 1 inch of Philippine territory. He's made clear that he supports the American alliance, the Visiting Forces Agreement, and he's surrounded by people, including in the AFP, who want to deepen the alliance because they've seen how China has treated President Duterte for the last 6 years while President Duterte tried to reach out. But at the same time, President Marcos understandably has said that he wants to maintain good relations with China. And I think that that tension is going to be very, very difficult to resolve. What I suspect will happen is the same thing that happened to President Duterte, that after a couple of years of outreach, he realized that China was not reciprocating. And if anything, China was taking advantage of the outreach of the early Duterte government.
Okay, Greg, I understand that you're here in the Philippines for your book entitled On Dangerous Ground, America's Century in the South China Sea. Can you tell us more about this book and what should we expect from it?
So going back through the history and the documents, what we find is that for over a century now, the United States has consistently maintained two positions in the South China Sea. One, upholding its alliance commitments. Now, today that only means to the Philippines, but for many decades it also included the South Vietnamese and the Republic of China governments. Two, maintaining freedom of the seas, because the U.S. was born as a trading nation. And for over 200 years, this idea that the oceans are a global commons that we all share has been really vital to U.S. foreign policy interests. Those two things have been consistent for over a century, and they will not change. There is still time for the Philippines and its partners and allies to stand on their rights in the international arena, but that time is disappearing. So this should be a call for urgency, not for resignation.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Stay safe.
Thank you, CJ.
Diyan lamang po kayo mga kapuso, magbabalik ang Mornings with GMA Regional TV.
Ito ang Mornings with GMA Regional TV. Ito ang Mornings with GMA Regional TV.
He is all set to melt hearts through his third single under GMA Music titled Kaulayaw, to share how happy he is to release a single he personally composed. Please welcome Psalms David.
Sa bawat oras na nag-isa, dalangin ko ikaw ay makasama na. Ikaw ang kanlungan, ang aking takbuhan, aking sandalan sa tuwing nahihirapan. O aking mahal,
Grabe. You know, listening to that kind of song in the morning, grabe, just make it more wonderful. Grabe, good morning to you, Masantos Yakabusan Psalms, and welcome to Mornings with GMA Regional TV.
Ayan po, Masantos Yakabusan po sa inyo. Hello po.
Grabe.
Good morning.
You got my kind of music, brother. Talagang napakaganda.
Ay, talaga
So
po.
dreamy.
Wow.
Oo,
Thank
grabe. Psalms, bukod sa pagkanta, what do you like doing in your spare time?
Spare time would be sleeping po. I love sleeping sobra. Feeling ko nung bata ako, ayoko matulog ng hapon. Pero nung tumanda po ako, di man ako sobrang tanda ngayon. Pero mas na-appreciate ko po yung beauty ng sleep. Sleeping beauty.
Gusto ko yun, di ba? Very witty, very witty. Well, Psalms, ang kantang ibinahagi mo sa amin this morning entitled Kaulayaw is your latest single and your very own composition. Grabe. Sana all ganyan ka-talented, no? Can you share the story behind Kaulayaw?
Ayun po, Kaulayaw. Well, si Kaulayaw, before po siya namin i-start gawin, Kaulayaw was untitled for like 2 to 3 years. Wala pong title si Kaulayaw. Recently lang po siya nagkaroon ng title. It was written around start ng pandemic. Wow. Kasi po it was the time where I was adjusting, I wasn't mentally, stable. And this song is like my way of comforting myself. Kasi di ba, tayo lang po yung makakapag-comfort sa sarili natin minsan, and not everyone will be there for you. So I believe na this song was used by God to be there for me when I needed it the most. So I wrote this song for myself and by myself.
Siyempre, ang tanong mga kapuso natin ngayon, Psalms, ano nga bang ibig sabihin ng kaulayaw?
O nga po, maraming nga po hindi nakakaalam ng word ng kaulayaw. Actually, this title wasn't by me. Yes. It was one of my loved ones. Siya po yung nagbigay sa akin nung title na to. And nung sinabi niya sa akin yung title na kaulayaw, sabi ko, anong meaning nun? Sabi niya sa akin, ang meaning ng kaulayaw ay intimate and constant companion. Tapos nung nalaman ko yung meaning, sabi ko, okay, alam ko na kung bakit ito yung napili mo kasi it summarizes the whole song.
Congratulations sa bagong kanta mo. And of course, nag-number 3 ka agad ito, di ba? Upon releasing.
Yes
Kaya
po.
sobrang congratulations to you, Psalms.
Thank you po.
And thank you so much for your time this morning. Lastly, ano ang dapat abangan ng mga kapuso natin dito sa North and Central Luzon sa iyo at saang music streaming platforms ba namin pwedeng i-download ang napakagandang Kaulayaw?
Siguro more like dapat kong abangan sa inyo kasi I'm really looking forward na marinig yung thoughts nyo about my song Kaulayaw. So download it and stream it on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube Music. Available on all digital platforms worldwide, only on GMA Music. And feel free to message me on my social media account kung ano yung effect sa inyo nung kanta, ano yung naramdaman nyo. Babasahin ko po lahat ng message nyo. And I would love to see how Kaulayaw touch your lives. So follow nyo po ako sa mga social media ko at I'm Psalms David. And ayun po, God bless. Maraming salamat.
Ay, grabe. O mga kapuso, sabay-sabay tayo mag-download na maya. Psalms David, maraming salamat. We are so honored to have you this morning. Mag-ingat ka palagi.
God bless po.
Sa pamamagitan ni Mr. Gregory Pauling, ang CSIS Senior Fellow at Director for Southeast Asia Program and Asia Maritime Transparency Initiative, nalaman natin ang ambisyon ng China sa West Philippine Sea. Nagbahagi rin siya ng ilang mga hakbang na pwedeng gawin ng Pilipinas upang igiit ang soberanya nito sa pinag-aagawang teritoryo.
At syempre, learn while you earn. Bukod sa hobby ni Renier Estrada, pinagkakakitaan na rin niya ang pagtatanim. Game na game din siyang nagturo para maibahagi sa iba ang diskarte sa ganitong klase ng modern farming.
Inspired by the people around him, maayos at magandang na-compose ni Psalms David ang kanyang newest single na Kaulayaw. Kaya't huwag nang magpauli, mga kapuso. I-download na ang Kaulayaw sa inyong favorite music streaming platforms. Kaulayaw.
Mga kapuso, we will make your mornings more wonderful. It's now time for #MorningFeels. The more you understand yourself, the more silence there is, the healthier you are. By Maxim Lagasi. #MorningFeels. Maraming salamat mga kapuso sa inyong pagpapatuloy sa amin sa inyong mga bahay at welcome kayo lagi dito sa Mornings with GMA Regional TV.
Maaaring mapanood ang ating episode sa pamamagitan ng pagbisita sa www.gmaregionaltv.com at mag-subscribe sa official YouTube channel ng GMA Regional TV. Nais naming pasalamatan ang mga kapuso sa Hilaga at Gitnang Luzon, maging ang mga kapuso natin sa ibang bansa. Thank you, thank you!
Mga kapuso, every day is a new beginning and every morning is a blessing.
Samahan nyo kami mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, dito lang sa Mornings with GMA Regional TV. Ako po, si CJ Torida.
Ako naman po, Harold Reyes. Buong puso para sa Pilipino.
Ingat lagi mga kapuso!